I am Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, and we are extremely excited to announce the kickoff on a very important initiative. And I think the most important aspect of this initiative is to really change the mindset that some of these feminine items that we are opening and partnering with the food bank and distributing and collecting is that they are not luxuries, they are necessities. And far too often we believe that the purchasing of these items are something that someone can go throughout the week or the day or the year in purchasing, and that's not the reality. And so we want to take our hats off to the Food Bank for New York City, Dwayne Reed, Walgreens, as we kick off this exciting partnership with the Food Bank New York City on donation drive for feminine products to be distributed to low-income and underserved women. So important when you look at the numbers here in Brooklyn and throughout the city. On average, women between the ages of 12 and 54 buy approximately 250 feminine items every year. That is a great strain on their economics, and it's a strain on the family as well. 1 out of every 6 women in New York City, that's 17% or more, relies on soup kitchen and food pantries. This is something that is often ignored in the conversation. When we talk about the faces of homelessness, we're not only talking about those who need to sit down at a table and have a meal or to deal with just having a place to sleep, but we're dealing with some of those basic necessities that's part of human existing and living. Nearly 1 million women and girls in New York City are living below the federal poverty line, less than $20,000 per year. Oftentimes, women and families are forced to decide if they're going to purchase these simple items or if they're going to have food for the family. And as many women would do, they will put the family in front of their basic needs, and we want to put a halt to that. It is not right that, especially in the richest country on the globe, that we have to make these very important decisions. And we have made a lot of progress in the last few years thanks to the advocacy of people like Councilwoman Lori Cumbo, who chairs the Women Committee and the City Council, and other progress that we're making. Girls and women now have access to free feminine products in schools, prison, and homeless shelters, something that's very important. New York State has lifted the tax on these products, but there's still so much more to do. We need to bring this conversation to the forefront of how do we ensure that every woman, no matter what their economic status is, that they can have access to feminine products, and particularly free for those who are in need. Through this drive, the donated products will help ease the financial burden that many women face in homes that are already struggling. The important thing to note is that these products are, as I stated, they are not luxury items, they are necessities. They are part of the daily interaction of being a woman in a city that predominantly men make the decision on what should be used as an important part of the fiber of our city and what shouldn't. It is time for us to understand that items such as this play a crucial role in the daily interaction, activities, and moving about in the city, and poverty should not be an inhibitor to ensure that these products are accessible. And so we're proud here in the Borough of Brooklyn, as the Brooklyn Borough President, one of the largest municipalities in this country, that we are opening Borough Hall to be a drop-off location, allowing people as they come downtown for their daily business interactions, as they come to the courts or to some of the shopping that they do, as they pick up a feminine product, as they pick up a wipe or one of these simple items here, to also pick up an extra one for an individual who is in need. You can give by giving people something simple as this item that we take for granted, interacting in our daily lives, that other people are going without. So we're asking Brooklynites and New Yorkers when you stop at Dwayne Reed's, when you stop at Walgreens, when you buy a feminine item for yourself, also pick up another item for someone else and drop it off here at Borough Hall or one of the other locations. You can also donate online through Food Bank, New York City, Amazon, wish list. Food Bank is getting it right. They understand clearly it's not only about what one feeds him or herself, but it's how we feed the importance of dignity and respect. And no greater level of feeling dignified is to be able to have simple items that allow you to go about your day feeling refreshed and dignified in the process. This campaign really hits home the message of the importance of addressing women's health issues, including the need to destigmatize the body's natural process, such as the menstrual cycles, menopause, breastfeeding, etc. Is something that we have taken on head on. Far too long, the basic principles of being a woman has been demonized, and we have ostracized the thought of it. That must stop. And Borough Hall wants to lead the way in doing so. No matter what the topic is, there's no reason being a woman and part of being a woman should be treated in the manner that we've done, not only here in this country, but across the globe. But we're putting an end to that right here in this borough, one issue at a time, one comment at a time, and one product at a time. And so we want to really take our hats off to our partners, particularly the Food Bank of New York City, where we're joined by Lisa Hein Johnson. And I asked Lisa, whose brainchild was this? And when she said the food bank, I said, right on. This is an important issue that is going to touch real people in a real way. Just imagine leaving your home, no matter who you are, and you cannot have the basic items that allow you to comfortably interact as you carry on your job or doing business. It is horrific to think that this has been a natural reaction for so many people. They have gotten so used of not being able to have the basic products that gives them the precursor of feeling dignity to further interact in this city and in this borough. This is so important, and we cannot underemphasize how much this is going to impact everyday people. Hundreds of thousands of people are waiting for the assistance that they need. So hooray to the food bank, hooray to Walgreens, hooray to all of the partners who have come together and realized we're going to meet the needs of people where they are, and that is what we're doing today. So I want to bring on Lisa Hein Johnson, and again, thank you so much, Lisa, and your team.
Thank you, Borough President. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Lisa Hein Johnson, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Food Bank for New York City. Today, I am thrilled to join Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams to launch a 3-month woman-to-woman campaign, which will help women and girls in need with items that are essential to their well-being. Across our country, women and girls living in poverty have additional burdens that food alone cannot ease. As was already mentioned, in New York City, nearly 1 million women and girls live below the federal poverty level, which means that they are often forced to make impossible compromises between purchasing essentials like feminine care and household products or paying for other basic needs like rent and food. This is why Food Bank for New York City started the Woman to Woman campaign to offer feminine care products to women and girls through our network of member charities across the city. Since we launched this campaign earlier this year, we have collected enough products and funds from generous New Yorkers to help provide feminine care and hygiene items to more than 160,000 women and girls who rely on food pantries and soup kitchens in New York City. This special initiative and partnership with Borough President Adams will help us bring necessary focus and attention to this need in Brooklyn. From now until the end of October, we are calling on Brooklynites and all New Yorkers to donate feminine care products and other vital items to ensure that women and girls have access to the items that they need. You can donate in person here at Borough Hall or online through Food Bank for New York City's Amazon wish list. All products donated over the next 3 months will help us to create a regular supply of donated feminine care products for food pantries and soup kitchens serving Brooklyn. At its core, This campaign is about focusing on the indignity experienced by some of the most vulnerable in our city and taking action. Too many New Yorkers are forced to sacrifice basic needs every day in order to keep a roof over their heads and food on the table. This campaign is fueled by the compassion of women and concerned and engaged New Yorkers working to meet the basic needs of women and girls living in poverty. We're so thankful to Borough President Adams for his leadership on this issue and Dwayne Reed for their generous donation to kick off this drive. I'd like to now turn it over to Amy Blumsack from Neighbors Together.
Good morning. My name is Amy Blumsack, and I'm the Director of Organizing and Policy at Neighbors Together, a soup kitchen and community-based organization located in central Brooklyn. Neighbors Together's mission is to end hunger and poverty in the surrounding neighborhoods of Ocean Hill, Brownsville, and Bedford-Stuyvesant. Since our founding in 1982, we have worked closely with community members to meet and address the needs of our neighbors. At Neighbors Together, we believe that providing hot meals and meeting people's most basic needs with kindness and respect affirms their dignity and worth as human beings. We see over 10,000 people per year in our soup kitchen, 3,500 of whom are women. These women are resilient. They tackle the myriad daily challenges that face low-income New Yorkers with strength, perseverance, creativity, and determination. They are constantly focused on how to make ends meet, how to do the best for themselves and for their families. One of the needs that many women have is for feminine products. At Neighbors Together, we have seen firsthand the discomfort and embarrassment when women have to go without. No person should have to face this kind of indignity. Being able to access feminine care products free of cost will lift a burden from low-income women and girls. These donations will support women's ability to focus on pressing issues like finding housing, feeding their families, continuing their education, or taking whatever next steps they may be trying to take in order to gain greater stability and well-being for their families and themselves. We are proud to stand with the Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams and the Food Bank for New York City in support of the Woman to Woman campaign, and we encourage all our neighbors in Brooklyn and across New York City to support this important initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. And I think that Amy just really touched on how important it is. Number one, neighbors coming together. I think the name of her organization really personifies the importance of everyday people coming together and just making a simple purchase. The gap between services and service providers on the city level, that gap is becoming increasingly larger. And when everyday New Yorkers and Brooklynite decide to pitch in and contribute, it really closed the gap. And we cannot thank Amy, her organization, and business and corporate entities coming together, just doing our part and doing our share. And it is unimaginable for a person to attempt to participate in their normal life's activities if they don't have some of these basic products. Imagine having to sit down, take an exam, going on an interview, sitting through school, the large number of people who are living in homeless shelters. And you often say, all of us ask ourselves, I wonder what that person does when they need the feminine products that they would need to go through their daily lives. Instead of having that question mark, we can straighten that question mark to an exclamation point and say, I know what they do because I donated and I contribute. Brooklynites, New Yorkers, let's give back in a very real way. Thank you. We'll open up to any questions if you have at this time. Great. That means Amy and Lisa did a great job.
Thank you.